In 2016, when Donald Trump ran for the nomination, and he ran as an outsider, and he shook up the party, and he dispensed with all the establishment types, and then he took over the party with all of his extreme views on all sorts of things. And I call them extreme because that's what Republicans called them at the time. So, I mean, this is actually, in some ways, kind of a Trump playbook.
Well, except Trump wasn't trying to, bring about the downfall of Western civilization like some of these socialist candidates are in the Democratic Party.
So let's just be clear about that.
And so, I mean, look, I'm not a Democrat, but I've been amused at the infighting in New York City today, and some of it is pretty powerful constituencies. I saw a video last night in one of these victory parties of a room full of young white socialists screaming at a television with Hakeem Jeffries on it, who's poised, by the way, to possibly become the first black Speaker of the House, going, "You're next, you're next, you're next." Not a great look for the party.
He is completely right. Look, I'll grant a tiny bit of ground to Abby Phillip here, even if her takes are usually the weakest on television. If you only look at the absolute surface level, you could try to argue that an insurgency on the left is the exact same thing as the populist insurgency Donald Trump led on the right a decade ago. It's a razor-thin argument that only works if you don't think too hard, because it sounds vaguely plausible on a cable news panel. But the moment you dig an inch deep, that comparison completely falls apart. Donald Trump's movement was about restoration. He was fighting to tear down the deep state, expose a corrupt media establishment, and return power to everyday citizens. He fought the battles that actually needed to be fought. Love him or hate him, he woke up millions of people. When history looks back on his legacy, even his critics will have to realize just how massively consequential he was for this country. What we are seeing on the far left isn't a movement to restore America. It's a movement to dismantle it. They don't respect free market capitalism, they disdain the Constitution, and they reject our foundational norms. They excuse political violence, cozy up to radical ideologies, and want to turn our public education system into a state-run factory for brainwashing children. They promise a utopia where everything is free, completely ignoring the basic reality that nothing ever is. To say these two movements are the same is lazy. Trump's movement is fundamentally pro-American. This radical left insurgency is actively hostile to the American experiment, which is exactly why you rarely see an American flag at their events. If there were any real journalists left in this country, they'd ask these radicals one simple question with July 4th right around the corner. Are you proud to be an American? Do you love this country? Yes or no? But they won't ask. Because everyone knows that if any of those politicians answered yes, their own base would kick them out tomorrow. Their entire agenda relies on tearing America down, not building it up.